Yo, 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 it's your boy Swag That Meal, and I'm back on ShibuyaTyson.com where the music at. Today I'm in the building with Mikey Main. We at Pressure Point Studios.
Yep.
He been doing a lot of production. He got his new company started this year. How you feeling today?
Man, I feel good, man. I feel good, you know. You guys are here, you know. Ready to
Feeling
make this
good?
happen. Yeah, I feel great.
Okay, we're gonna get started. We're gonna start off with how did you get your name, Mikey Main?
Actually, I got it my freshman year, man. I just took a trip from Atlanta, and everybody kept saying Maine out there, and it kind of stuck to me, man. And I ended up jumping on a song with some people that were rapping my school.
Okay.
They needed a third verse, and I said, screw it, I'll jump on. I was really supposed to engineer them, and then, you know, when it came down to like, you know, hey man, what's your rap name? And then they kind of figured it out for me, so. You know,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so I mean, actually, my nickname is Mikey, and then Maine came out of
With
instinct.
rap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was you born and raised in Chicago?
Yeah, born and raised, man. Born and raised.
Which side of town was you born or raised on? I'm sorry.
I've moved a lot of places, but I'm mostly from like the Cicero Berwyn area, man. You know?
Okay.
So, you know, just a little suburb in the west side and shit, southwest a little bit, you know. Yeah.
So what's your nationality?
Mexican. Mexican American. Yeah.
Okay.
Born here.
You was born here?
Born here, yeah.
Do you have family outside the state?
Yeah, a lot of family in Mexico, but most of them are here. Most of my family's here.
Okay. Do you think Hispanics get overlooked in the music industry?
I mean, we do have the Latin Grammys, so I mean, I'm cool with that. But yeah, the Latin market, especially like in the rap game, it's a little under acknowledged, you know. But you know, a lot of it's changing with the new with the trap, Spanish trap. You know, people like Bad Bunny and stuff like that. You know, reggaeton's kind of making its comeback. So yeah, we're getting some type of recognition.
Okay.
Now. Yeah.
So growing up, like, what kind of music did you listen to?
I mostly listen to like Daft Punk, like a lot of house. You know, I didn't really get into rap music till like I was like 12, 13 years old, man. So I was a little late bloomer on it, you know. But growing up, I listened to like Outkast, I listened to Daft Punk, some Red Hot Chili Peppers, a lot of like movie stuff, like Georgia Moroder, who did all the Scarfaces, you know, the whole Scarface soundtrack. A lot of stuff. Amy Winehouse, it's one of my favorites.
So those are the artists that inspire you to do music, or was it a specific person?
I think like most Chicago people, Kanye West.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like once he got into the scene, it was just like, man, I want to make beats like him. You know, I want to sample stuff. I want to go crazy. You know, so yeah, Kanye West, I want to say, is a big influence.
You worked and engineered for a lot of artists. Who are some artists that you worked with?
So some of the people are like, I worked with Bump J. I got to work with Vic. Chance was actually one of the first people I got to meet right across the street from us. Let me see who else. I've had Jeremih in studio, Bibby, Herb, Lufo. There's a lot of people. Dreezy, I got to work with Dreezy. It's a lot of people, man. Almost everybody in Chicago that raps, I kind of probably bumped into me in there, so yeah.
So you touched home with a lot of artists.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know.
Which artists did you have the best chemistry with?
I would say Lil Flash.
Lil Flash.
Lil Flash, he's a Glow Gang member. You know, he's with Chief Keef and them.
Okay.
You know, we dropped the mixtape every month for like a whole year straight. So it's like it's a lot of work that year. Yeah.
Which song was your favorite that you produced for him?
I would say Burbs. You know, not only is it like one of the better songs, but you know, we got placement on Chief Keef's YouTube channel. You know, it did pretty good on the numbers. It's one of his favorites. You know, yeah.
So who was your first big placement?
I'll say Lil Flash.
Lil Flash.
Lil Flash.
Okay.
Yeah, he really turned me up, man.
Yeah. A lot of people try to land big acts. Like, what was your strategy?
I mean, to be honest, like, you know, I have a lot of passion in my work, so like I just like working, man. You get me? I like making music, and most people, you know, they're always after like, you know, the money and like other little shit. They want to be, you know, Snapchat or Instagram, filming themselves in the studio, taking photos with these people. But in the end of the day, the way I went about it is like, everybody's human. We all, we're just normal people, so just treat everybody normal and enjoy what you do and just, hope for the best.
Okay. You started your own company, Mikey Main Productions.
Mm-hmm.
Did you start that this year?
No, I've had it for quite some time.
Okay.
I've been making music for over 10 years now. So I have that, and then I also have my other company. I got a publishing company, and I just signed to like 2 other ones just this year. Yeah.
So you working real hard.
Yeah.
I know I seen on your Instagram, one of your posts said you're looking for a new artist to work with. That's including a new project, beats, studio time, and maybe a distribution deal. Where did that idea come from?
So the company I just signed to, Def Dog Music, it's a company where we do like a lot of commercial work, either commercials, promo, stuff for film, stuff for TV shows. We match artists with, we match talent with big brands, whenever they call us, whenever they specifically are looking for some.
Okay.
So, we do a lot of co-publishing, and then we also help with like writing, registration, all that stuff. So all the stuff that most artists that are missing out on, we fill that void.
Okay.
Yeah.
When searching for a new artist, what characteristics do you look for?
To be honest, originality. I want authenticity. I don't want to be able to take that one artist and compare them to another and try to say they're close to it. Because if the act's already done, I don't necessarily want to repeat something that's already been done.
Right.
Been done.
Just joining the wave that's already going.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole idea is for you to have your own wave, your own sound, and just to stick out different, than everybody else.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long have you been making beats?
10 years. 10 years. I started when I was like 14. So like summer between 8th and freshman year. 8th grade, freshman year.
At that time, what program was you using?
FL Studio, man.
Are you currently using FL Studio?
Still to this day, man.
Okay.
Guru now.
When making beats, do you like to collab also?
Yeah, I'll collab here and there. There's a bunch of people like, I was able to work with, almost all the producers here in Chicago. I got my guy PD, who was just on Trap or Die 3 with Young Jeezy. My guy Get 'em Louie, he's making a bunch of noise right now with a bunch of local artists. Chase Davis, he did, that Fuck Around Get Smoked song with Lil Mouse and a bunch of other people. And, there's so many people that I worked with, man. It's like I could go on forever with the producers, man.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's like a small community. Once you get to a certain level, it becomes very small.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long does it take you to make beats?
It depends, if I want to get really constructive with it could take up to an hour, but if it's something quick on the fly, like anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes.
5 to 15 minutes?
5 to 15, man.
So, I got a question for you. In one day, what's the most amount of beats that you made?
In one day, I remember I did like about 10, 12 in one day. But, because, your ears get deaf, man. You got to eat, You probably want to go fuck around, play some 2K or something. I don't know, get your mind off it.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember one day I did make like 10, 12 beats in one day.
Okay.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Was that during the beginning of your career, or was it recently?
I think I want to say like more recently. Recently.
Grinding hard.
Yeah, the pressure is on. Yeah.
What's some of your favorite instruments to use?
Instruments. Well, I mostly use a MIDI, so I'll just play on my keyboard or I'll just use my computer. Everything I do is by ear, so it's like nothing's necessarily like. There's really no limits with it, Okay. Whether I record it through a microphone, whether I play it, live, or there's really no limits.
Okay. You work with Bum J. You engineer and produce for him since he's been home. How did you end up working with him originally?
I used to. I had this studio that I was working at on the west side called the Outfit Music Group. There I was able to meet Bump J's brother at the time, and I kept nagging him like, man, when Bump gets out, he hit me up, hit me up, I got him, hit me up. And when the opportunity came 3 months later after he had got out of jail, I got a phone call like 11 in the morning saying get to the studio in an hour, and the rest was history, man.
So how did that feel when you got the call? Was you nervous, or was you just ready to go and just make it happen?
I mean, usually whenever I get calls to go to work, it's just, I'm in work mode, so like I get in my zone. But actually meeting the guy was kind of like, I grew up listening to the guy, so I was like, man, like I was a little starstruck, But they liked me, and they decided to keep me for like the next 2 months. Yeah, man, it was a crazy ride, crazy experience.
When Bump J record, do he like to freestyle, or did he come with written music already?
Oh man, he came so prepared, dude. Like, I actually have this one photo of him. He just got a bag full of notes, just new, like just rhymes, just books, and just all laid out right there in the booth. And he usually came prepared, man. He usually came prepared, but the guy is a genius, man. He's probably one of the best artists I got to work with. So
that's great.
He'll knock out a verse like in 3 takes or less, man.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, really good.
So when you say he had a bag of rhymes, do you think these are like the rhymes he wrote while he was incarcerated?
Yeah. He had 10 years in there, so he had a lot of free time on his hands, So, but he a lot of it was, from what he told me, was when he was incarcerated,
Okay.
But man, one of the best, man. One of the best for sure.
What's the most amount of songs you two finished in one day together?
The most amount of songs? Well, he worked pretty interestingly. Like, we would work on some, and then if he felt that like he didn't have the energy, or he didn't want to like work on it anymore, he would go on to the next song. So like some days, we would work on one song. Some days we would work on like 5, 6 songs. It was just always depending on his mood. So like, I want to say maybe like 5 songs, 6 songs at most a day was probably the most.
Okay.
In
your opinion, how big is Bump J legacy to Chicago?
I think it's really big, man. I think it's important. If you look into the history, at the time before he got incarcerated, he had one of the biggest deals in the rap game. He has a close association, with Kanye, and he was supposed to be the next big thing in Chicago, and unfortunately, that whole incident happened with him, and him getting arrested, and for the most part, he does got a lot of catching up to do, but from the looks of it, I think he's on a good path. I think he's gonna be all right.
Yeah, he's putting out good music. Mm-hmm. I think his musically content is up to date. Also, that's what I like most about it. It's like he never left.
Like he was just here the whole time,
I got a question for you. You've been around Bump J for a couple of months. Do you know if maybe Kanye West reached out to him? Maybe those two are gonna do some music together.
I asked them about that, and the response that I got was, he's family. So, obviously that means he's still in good terms.
Right.
And and working with him within 1 week, I was able to talk to the entire industry. The whole industry reaching out to him, wanting to work with him.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff, man.
So what's your favorite Bump J song?
My favorite Bump J song? To be honest, I think right now for me, I think Good to Be Home is probably my favorite song. And I actually worked on that one, so we were able to get this guy, one of the producers off the same album as called for the Damn album for Kendrick.
Okay.
Cartier. Cardo beat.
Cardo got wings.
Yeah, so we got Cardo on the song, and it was just I think it was just kind of like that one song that we were anticipating for his first day out. What's the message? What are you trying to tell us? And I think in the whole song, he basically told us how he felt about the industry, which for me was awesome.
Okay.
You know.
So we're talking about rappers. You mentioned that you did a song in high school. The song was called "Right There."
Ooh, that's an old song.
So
yeah.
Do you still rap now?
No. You know, I had to make the decision. Like, you know, at the time, you know, like I said, you know, I was trying to engineer these guys, and they were like they were essentially like the cool guys in high school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and plus they were the rappers, so it was like, you know, I had to get in tune with them because, you know, I was really interested in music at the time, and I stumbled into becoming a rapper. And to this day, I'm the only person out of that whole group that's still doing music, you know, which is pretty funny. But as a rapping, you know, I had to choose between either do I want to keep rapping or do I want to continue producing or engineering, which was taking me further than being a rapper.
Right.
You know, so ultimately I just left it. You know, I didn't feel that I had the right image for it. I didn't have the right look for it, you know. Not saying that the music sucked. The music was awesome. It's just, you know, you gotta change your priorities, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in maybe writing music for artists?
I have. I wouldn't necessarily say write, but, you know, I have artists, you know, they come out, they get they'll get stuck on a bar or two, or, you know, hooks and stuff, rearranging everything and stuff. So, you know, I'll help out with that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel about the Chicago music scene right now?
I think it could do better. I think the scene could do better. I mean, we have, you know, we have a lot of talent. We obviously have the talent. We have a lot of good artists, you know, coming out of Chicago. But I think business-wise, it could do better.
Do you think Chicago should have more mainstream artists since it has such a big influence on the rap culture right now?
In terms of mainstream, I would say, you know, some of the music that we have, the content, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the content, especially with the music we have now. There's like no rules.
Mm-hmm.
But the content could be cleaned up. We could talk about more positive things than just, you know, people talking about killing each other and, you know, things like that matter. Like, I mean, I understand it's a reality of what's going on in our surroundings, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that should be the only thing that we talk about, or even be talking about partaking in some of those things. It doesn't. It's not appealing. It's not. It doesn't help, you know, the scene at all. It doesn't help Chicago at all.
So is it easy for you to listen to music when you hear no mention like dead people's names? Like, do you still feel like it's important that they take it out? Or do you feel like just listening to it, you kind of block it out?
I mean, I would say, like most people, they won't catch it, you know, or they won't fully understand it unless you're from here. You get me? And you know what they're talking about. And you know, it's just in music, man. It's just part of the culture now, you know. You know, all the sneak dissing and all this other shit. You know, but for me, that's not what's important to me. What's important to me is that we make good music. You know, we're able to, you know, be able to build a career out of it. You know, rather than just make it a hobby. You know.
Right.
And when
some money.
Yeah, and you know, and for me, you know, it's just a respect line. So for me, like, I wouldn't personally go on track, you know, talking crap about somebody like that. You get me?
Right.
But I mean, that's just what the culture is right now. It's really messed up.
Yeah, it is. What are some challenges working behind the scenes as a producer and engineer you have?
I would say one of the I mean, like most challenges is, you know, releasing and, you know, making sure we get the proper placements so that everybody gets paid. And I would say, you know, how they always say it out here, you know, what comes with the shits.
Right.
You know, so, you know, we may be working with certain artists and, you know, you get caught up in situations or, you know, things like that. You know, that's what comes with it, because, you know, we as producers or engineers, you know, we get caught in the crossfire too sometimes.
Have you personally seen that happen before?
Oh yeah, plenty times.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So who are some of your top Chicago artists right now?
I mean, as far as legends, we got them all, you know, like obviously Kanye, Twista, things like that. Common, R. Kelly. You know, I want to say, you know, some of the newer artists, you know, like Dreezy and Jeremih, you know, Lufo's doing his thing, you know. But newer wise right now, like I really like I really like Valet. I like Queen Key. I think J Dot got something going on too. J Dot, Huncho, so we don't get it confused.
C Dot.
Or C Dot Huncho. My fault. J Dot's the guy that passed. My fault. You're right. So C Dot Huncho. Let me see. I got this artist I'm working with named Ruski Rax that's coming out with a project next month, and then let me see who else. I got another artist too, E-Class, Hispanic cat. Look out for him, man. Look out for him.
Okay.
That's all I can say on him.
How big is the role of a producer and an engineer when it comes to making a record?
Can you repeat that question again?
How big is the role of a producer and an engineer when it comes to making a record?
I mean, we all play a big role, man. You know, it takes a team to really make something happen. You know, when you see the Grammys and you see people like Adele win, you know, performance of the year, you know, it's not just one person. It's like 30 people on stage. You know, and it really does take a team. So everybody plays a big role, man. You know, obviously you need a good beat. Obviously you need someone that's gonna know how to record you. And the artist just needs to be on point. And you know, the most important thing is chemistry. So, you know, with all those things with all that said, you know, everybody plays a big role.
Do you think people behind the scenes deserve more credit?
I mean, yes, I believe so. You know, some people, they like staying behind the scenes. Others, you know, they want that fame, they want that recognition. But yeah, I think artists themselves can do a better job in promoting the producers and their engineers and things like that.
What advice do you have for up and coming engineers?
For up and coming engineers, as of like already that have something going on, or like,
yes.
I mean, you know, just keep focusing on just creating good content. You know, taking your time, making sure, you know, you cross your T's, dot your I's, making sure you give out the best quality you can. You know, in the culture that we have now, music's getting released every single day, so like the pressure is on to get your stuff out there, and I get it. But once you actually invest your time into something bigger than just trying to release something out, the chances of you actually making it are a lot higher, you know, rather than just trying to dish them out.
Do you have any engineer tricks for beginners?
Read the manual. Read the manual. Don't skip chapter 1. I learned it the hard way. I ignored it for years, and when I finally read it, you know, I kind of felt like a dummy. You know, I didn't go to school for any of the stuff that I went to, so the best advice I can give is just read the manuals and just watch your YouTube videos and just soak up as much information as you can and be humble.
Being an engineer, what are some things artists should do before coming to the studio that can help prepare them to record once they get to the studio?
For engineers?
Yes.
Make sure your equipment's on point.
No, I mean it's for artists. What should they do?
Oh, what should they do?
Yeah.
Before they come? You know, one is always carry a hard drive on you. Please, for God's sake, you guys, just, you know, so that way you can take your sessions with you, all that stuff. Make sure your music's ready. You know, a lot of people I work with, you know, they'll take all their time in the world to write to a song, and you know, in our situation, time is everything. Just come prepared, and yeah, just that's pretty much it. Like, really, you know, make the most out your time, you know.
Okay, my follow-up question was, what advice do you have for engineers before rappers come to the studio?
Just make sure all your equipment's on point, make sure nothing's messed up, you know, and just be sure they secure the bag, man, because, you know, just gotta get beyond it, really.
Okay, on Instagram, you posted a photo saying it's amazing how much can be accomplished if no one cares who gets the credit. Can you explain on that?
you know, people in general, you know, especially in this industry, a lot of people really try to make it about themselves. You know, whether it's the producer, the engineer, whatever. In my opinion, you deserve the credit. You deserve the credit. Automatically, you deserve the credit. You know, depending on what's on black and white, you deserve the credit. But when it comes down to, you know, people caring, you know, usually that gets in the way sometimes of certain people. If we stop caring about, you know, why isn't that this guy hasn't got put on but this guy has and stuff, stop worrying about that. Just focus on the content, focus on the music, find your target audience and stick to that. You know what I mean? Stop worrying about other people, worry about what you got going on. You know? And as far as other people, you know, the only thing you should ever worry, you know, even consider worrying about is actually working with them, making money with them. You know, that's the whole idea. That's the whole agenda. You know, stop the hate, start working together. Who cares if they're on? In the end of the day, we're on the same line, waiting to get on the same ride. You know, and that's just what it is. You know, you're gonna have your opportunity.
Do you feel like an artist need a big studio to make a hit record?
I mean, nowadays, yeah, you know, you can record at home and things like that. You know, it doesn't really take too much equipment to actually get something recorded or written down. But when it comes to big productions and stuff, and you actually want to use top-notch equipment, and to, you know, if you have the opportunity to make it happen, definitely take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, a hit's a hit from the moment it comes out your mouth. If it sounds like, if it's a good song, just us talking right now, you know, then it's a hit.
Do you, as being an engineer, do you like analog or digital more?
Sonically, I prefer analog. Digital's the new wave. You know, there's a huge difference between analog and digital, for sure. Huge difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that you're going into doing soundtracks for movies, what challenges are you not looking forward to, or are you looking forward to?
I mean, you know, when you work with big brands, and when you actually work with like deadlines and contracts, and you know, you have to please the client. The client's number one, no matter what, you know. So, you know, it just all depends, you know, how much I can take. But you know, those are just some of the challenges, you know, because in the end of the day, you know, we all want to get paid. You know, and all the work that we do is an effort for us to you know, see some good results, you know, and that's what we try to aim for. You know, it's not the same as creating a album or recording a song. It's super different.
This is another question I got. Do you feel like the city is doing a lot for the violence in Chicago?
You know, when it comes to the violence, I mean, it's always been there for years. You know, I've had the pleasure of being here for the last 24 years. You know, so you know, I've seen it all from all parts of Chicago, man. You know, from the west side, south side, out west, out east, everywhere. And you know, Chicago does everything it can do. You know, we got a lot of problems, you know, from the budget cuts to you know, just money in general, and just, you know, we owe a lot, and you know, there's a lot of issues that we're still dealing with in Chicago. I personally feel they're trying to do the best they could. I don't think us as community, you know, us in you know, communities, especially the minority communities, I don't think we do enough to empower the people. I don't think we do enough for our own communities. You know, and when it comes down to, you know, stopping the violence, no one bothers really. No one wants to stop it. You know, we say we want to stop it, but then we want to sit there on social media saying, you know, free my cousin, and we know damn well they did the murders or whatever it is that they did. You know, so it's a little hypocritical, but I think slowly we're getting there. You know, because we do have a really big issue here in Chicago. You know, that's underlooked.
What's next for Mikey Main in 2018?
What's next? Well, like I said, I got, these labels I just joined. Def Dog Music. We got, a lot of commercial work coming up, a lot of movie stuff. We're always looking for content to add for placement. I got this new company that we're gonna start off with. It's called the Artist Hangout.
Okay.
Essentially, what it does is it's a collective of different producers and engineers and artists like myself. We all do our individual things. I got one person on the team. My mentor, he does a lot of commercial work. From everybody and from every big brand you can think of, he's done commercials for them.
Okay.
Movies and stuff.
What's his name?
John Ovnick is his name. Yeah. And then we also, we got a lot of other people on our team. Susan Calloway, she does she does the music for Final Fantasy 14. So she got 2 or 3 things she got going on. We just got a whole team, of people that we work with. So, and as for me, we want to bring that to light so we can help out local artists or artists that already got some type of movement and really don't know what to do with promotion, distribution. Okay. We cover that. We help our artists. So this is basically the next avenue for artists, that really want to take it serious.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Hopefully in the penthouse, man. Hopefully in the presidential suite, just hanging out,
Making music.
Making music, I don't know, man. Who knows, I like to see myself continue working in music, continue empowering people, helping people, and just seeing how far and how deep this rabbit hole goes,
You're on the path, you're on your way, you already been there, you learned everything you need to learn, the ropes of the game. Mm-hmm. So in 5 years, I think you should be there.
Well, yeah, and I plan to see everybody there up there with me too,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So for all the fans out there that want to reach out to you to take part in the programs that you have, how can they reach you? What's your Twitter and Instagram name?
So yeah, you guys could search me up at on Instagram, Mikey Main 1, MikeyMain 1. You can email me at bookingmikeymain@gmail.com. You could meet us at our websites at theartisthangout.com or at defdogmusic.com. Whichever way you can call the studio, however you want to do it. Not that hard to reach.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before we get up out of here, you want to give us a freestyle?
A freestyle? No freestyle, man.
All right.
Oh man.
It's your boy Swag, now Meal, on ShibuyaTyson.com, and we signing out. Peace.
Yeah.